So, right there, Pi. I saw 2 hours of her laughing or said, how the hell do you know all that? And Pi wrote, Pi's a telepath, and yeah, Pi's hinted by spirits and instructed. Yeah, that's true. In 3 hours, look at that. She cries on the news, and then Pi. The Lamb grandparents came down immediately, began removing children to the abnormal, yes, they remove genome structures they have never seen, and then they identify those that are goetic clones by abnormal 100% degree negative. And then he came down, he said, no, those are goetic clone Pi. Now me thrilled, yeah, y'all good. All Pi told you, hey Pi, you have a big grandpa coming back down, Pi at 100% deal. And then Pi, you said, your work is pretty much done, but right there, the space station's built on Mars, storage is there, and then you moved all the good European people there. That's true. You left to London because they choose to serve 5 stars. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Right there, Pi cannot save you because that evil bastard simply came out and his name was Ebenezer and simply wrote all to the Holocaust. Yep, me not your real parents, me a Middle Eastern god and it flies off. That's true. And right there, graphic. Him was a blue hazel eye white monster. And the right there, Pi. People knew it. Their own fucking hound dog granny. Yep, just owned them. That's true from Egypt. And then 5 hours later, you won, Pi. Yep, you took off to the Astro. It was so graphic. Them knew it. Yep, them are the monsters in the Book of Law. It's them in Middle East and the one more nation that fight you. Hint, they're New Zealand. Yeah, they're New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand. And right there, Pi wrote their color. Yeah, their color. Yeah, the ones that are, yeah, dyes. Some are colored because they made it to Asia side of the heaven. That's true. Yeah, they have families there. That's true. Y'all could. And so Pi cannot say that those are bad white gods or goddesses because those ones, they're immune out of poverty. I can see why they do that. Yeah, that's true. Y'all could. And then Pi, so I have to put 2 hours of you terrified Pi. The white god shouted, you fair Pi. Put me murder Middle East. And Pi said, sure, yeah. If you're strong enough, go for it. Yes, do be nice, do. It's just that me not super fast yet. And me fought a bunch of Middle Eastern gods. And those are stowaway Israel war gods. Those are the most brutal blue hazel eye white types fight. Those are pure cut. So yeah, could him notice you carry two swords green, and then every time he cuts you heal, and then you have a prototype ship that makes you look like had at Pyastro. And right there you heal as quick as had. But 2 hours later, Pyusin, 2 hours later they scream. Yeah, they scream. Yeah, they wrote. Yeah, that is equivalent. Pyusin, be careful, Pi. They wrote those are prototype chips that perform like had a skin DNA. And then 9 hours, Pi. It was you, and 5 others identified you the real one. Astro. Yeah. Your horn demons found things for you and your group of spirits and gold wake spirits, but be careful, Pi. You install, and then that's a lot of risk, and you did it. Yeah, you did it. Yep, I done it. Hey, Pi. Best fight scene was that ghoul, Pi. It kept beating you up in Florida. So where will we go now? That device is you. And Pi wrote all those implants have the same elixir. How y'all could summon it. It beams out from the boxes, and it beams through the nanos and particle metal all the way to the blue sky. Y'all could much more faster, yep, better. Y'all could. And he's happy, Pi. But 9 hours, he knew it. If it can't kill a cryptic, it's safer enough for ghouls by Astro. Cryptic is pretty much human equivalent skin DNA. That's true. If a cryptic not use it, don't use it. That's true. You'll die. Yeah, cryptics are the nicer spirits. And then Donzo is the nicest. Yeah, cryptic. They're liars too, but they're nicer. Pi Astro. And then right there, they can touch your skin and you not rot a ghoul. They touch your skin, your blood vessels will begin rotting and pretty much snap. And then right there, Pi, you survive. And Pi, don't let them curse your war metal. That's true. Yep, that's true. They do that looking Newt. Yep, they did that to her. Her eyeballs are bulging out. And then, yep, eyeballs are bulging out. You, Pi, your people, Pi, intestines are snapped. And then, yep, those type of characteristics, Pi, using you one, Pi. And then your knuckles, yeah, bones are coming out of your knuckles. And then be careful, Pi. Yeah, be careful, Pi. Your metal's not sealed away because they seal that. And it's like sealing your eyeball, Pi. And then it's no good. Yep, no good for your human god DNA. Protect your metal DNA and protect your funny metals and then your infinity. Be careful, Pi. It was 4 hours. Yep, gods do that. Yep, them did that to Newt. And then, yep, her eyeballs are bulging up. Tu ni hậu lúc mà tự tự The spinal cord has been shredded. Yeah, the spinal cord not healed. It shreds. It snaps. That's true. 4 hours of her goddess metal getting sealed. There, people, pie. Yep, that happens. You, pie, you immune. Very graphic right there in 29. Allah knew it, pie. You're the legit Hmong god. Yeah, that's 100% law. That's true. He says, pie, he said, don't tell the human scum that we discover them and we decide and then we judge. Pie, yeah, that's true. That's fine. 100% is the green lights that work, yeah. It was so evil. He cut up 2 of his brothers and he said, there, stole away. God was my God, normal, always 100% is the green ladies do. Yep. He's immune, he's immune, that's true. Later on in life, when children are born, his sons and he is asked to do, asked, to do some work, mercenary work, and then, that's when you head off to the other Malaysian space countries, and then right there you went to the Asian space country. A lot of old Hebrew that pie's cutting up. That's true. Yeah, that's true. There's no more Asian gods in that one, and you kept fighting back, and you won, pie. The best fight scene you did about 2,000 in the beginning. In the end, it was about 700 trillion to 900 trillion per second. It took you about 4 hours, and the place is cleared up. That's true. And then Pi told them the truth. Pi kept them in a prison, and then that's that. Yeah, that's that. Y'all Pi murdered them off, then them dies. Pi, yeah, that's true. Yep, that's 100% true. That's law. Very graphic. They're lying to you, Pi. It was 2 Hadits. And Pi said, when you fight, you'll figure your knight defeated Hadit was fair. Pi him stabbed himself with a knight sword, and he said, there. I don't want to succeed because I know Pi's right. And then, him did that twice, and he flew off. And then right there, 7 years, son passed away. I was not a white god anymore. He's full African. He kept fighting you people, Pi. It was about 40 plus years, Pi. I was yeah, 43 3 years. Yeah, that's true. Right on, my demon royal hog. Yeah, and those are demonic, hawk gods up there that work for Pi, they're Pi's family. What they don't tell you, 43 years, Pi, and I was passes away. Real time, certain King Cobra, Serpent Locked, the future has been sealed, that's true. 3 hours, Pi, as those events occur. And the right after, whereas Pi, he won, but 9 hours of they asking what you do to the Mandarin, them been murdered. Yeah, them all been murdered, that's true. The only one survivors are in a different King Cobra. He is a Thai royal member, and the Pi is a Hmong member, and then the other is an older generation of 3 head King Cobras who basically don't need to listen to the new, Pi not like them. Them are murdered by the grandpa. Yeah, that's true, And then he tells them the truth. You was not our yellow people. You was a weakling that went down to earth and brought back Va, which is a good, but you now we enslave, and we will give you back to your grandma, Hawks, and grandpa, who are, the black tail, the cobra, demon, the legs of a cobra, the upper torso of a human, and right when they gave those to their grandparents, they took it, but 9 trillion years by, it was graphic. He says, I've never seen an idiot not know those are their, progenitors, that's real, And by he said, it was you and the only saint, Pi. He says, I would have killed all of them. Them are pure evil. Yeah, them are pure evil, Pi. Yeah. Lời dạy cho dinh nhu sự thiệt. Thiệt chính phá tổ quan nhớ sự cho chế ra số nè. Có sĩ tuần rồi cho nên là mỗi bự Israel chống dù là có tuần ta dân nữ ta sĩ hết nữ cho nữ phân đó. Ta sĩ tổ nữ giờ công kiện lần đầu cái nè. Có tuần tự giờ công tuần kia hết xa chỗ trốn liền tuần kia. And it took you about 4 hours. Y'all could go not 4 hours, 19 seconds. Yep, 19 seconds. Real, yep. Go to things, go to things, it's real. And it was so graphic. He says, Pi, you're as fast as I was, but you as a liar. Took you several years to get there. That's true. And Pi, he said, 20 hours later, Chinese came clean. Them or nothing. Yeah, them or nothing. Is up there in one of the Asian space countries. Those are stowed away, but soon the Pi use they Pi find they're hygienic and reasonable. Pi bought it up for they, but very graphic. Afterwards, when your real Israeli demons or Saudi demons are summoned, Pi, 2 stowaways are they, and then that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And then the best fight scene, those are excusable. Yeah, that's true, because 57 is still alive. A plus, Pi. That's true, yeah, that's true. And then it was his elixir that all the king cobras from Asia, imitated. That's true. You have his light electricity fluids, and then they pour it into elements and molecules, and right there you infinity. Pi, you said it is you, Pi, the best king cobra. Liars are they, Pi. They robbed him twice, but then the knights, got them legally. That's 100% law. That's norms. Yep, 100%. Yes, that's true. Because the space country is built by God. Wow, that's 100% law. That's true. Yep, that's true. And then the law there states that, and then you know how how states are run from the government. That's true. Yeah, that's how it's done. That's true. Because the main government has been split because of that's true. Yeah, that's true. And then 2 hours you figure there's no more supreme because everything's run by the state. So everybody's is running by the country, and Pi has over. You figured, yeah, Pi has over 30 trillion space countries, and it was very graphic. Right afterwards, Pi, two aliens on you, Pi. They demanded payment for their good work, and Pi checked, and then if it's true, Pi pointed which yellow children used to play with Astro. Pi need to check the record on you. That's 100%. I just made it. Yeah, what good? And then 4 hours, Pi. Graphic news in the Middle East. He is chopped up by 57. Pi, yeah, 100% is the green lights to walk. Yeah. 57 wrote, if me was the dog that not know how to raise children and be merciful when they need to grow and heal. And right there he chopped the monsters are there. That's all you get. Pi's right, yes, Pi's right, yeah, Mochenko. And 2 hours he's off the planet. Pi, yeah, normal, 100% is the green lights to walk. Yeah. And 2 hours later, Pi, it's random, yeah. It was random right there when you summon Pi. They are the lucky, yep, Middle Eastern demons. They entered Pi and they told Pi the truth. Pi, yeah, that's 100% true. Very graphic, Pi. They are lucky, and the Horn Grandpa, the Vang demons are lucky too. That's 100% real. Yeah, that's real. Right there, you knew it, Pi. Very graphic in the Middle East. Them are lied to, and then Grandpa knows immediately. He informs you, Pi, yep, always 100% is do. Green lights do, always do. What, yeah.